Hello, my delightful demon spawn. To say that DC has a bizarre track record would not be a false statement. So when I saw the trailers for the new Batman movie, I was worried. However, upon watching the film, I found it to be one of the better live-action adaptations of the character. This movie would light a spark in me, making me want to play a game I haven't touched in ages. Coincidentally, it focuses on my personal favorite live-action Batman film, that being Batman 1989, directed by Tim Burton. Something about the atmosphere, the music, and the performances just clicks with me. And following the movie would be video game adaptations. There's the Genesis version that's somewhat underrated, there's the TurboGrafx-16 version, which is oddly a puzzle game, and the Game Boy version that isn't bad for a Game Boy game. But perhaps the most famous version is the NES version. Released in Japan in 1989 and everywhere else in 1990, Batman the video game was developed by Sunsoft. They had already released games like the NES port of Spy Hunter and Blaster Master, but Batman would be one of their more revered games. Especially because licensed games typically didn't do too hot, an example being Fester's Quest, also developed by Sunsoft, which got mixed ratings. So, I'm going to take to the dark and gloomy Gotham streets to see whether or not this is a licensed game worth your time. Today, I will be playing Devil's Advocate for... Batman. I guess I can let the prologue roll one more time. Unfortunately, actually looking at it will make your eyes bleed, because, that's not my emulator going crazy or anything. That's literally how the game is. But for these two screens, that doesn't happen, so I don't get it. I don't get it. Look at this cutscene. It's a good cutscene. Now, I will mention straight out the gate that there is a prototype for this game. Spoiler alert, I'll probably only play that at a later date just to test my cojones. But, it's annoying. So, this is Batman for NES. What can you do in this game? Well, Batman controls simply. You use D-pad to move around. You can jump with the A button. There is a very, ever so slight delay when you do jump, so it can feel a little weird, but, you know, you get used to it. And then, your default attack. This is where Batman decides to, change the formalities of the average video game character, because Batman, he doesn't rely on something like a high-tech arm cannon that blasts several types of energies, or mystical weaponry that can destroy the darkness or whatever. He just punches people straight in the face. That's Batman for you. Just goes around punching stuff, which is great, isn't it? These B icons that I'm picking up, they're points. Points do nothing in this game, so fuck it. There we go. You can't really see it that well, but that enemy dropped a missile icon, and what that represents is ammo. One of the other oddities of this game is that you don't press the select button to switch weapons. That pauses the game. So what do you use to switch weapons? Use the start button. For some reason, you use the start button. But you get 3 weapons here. You got the batarangs. You got what the game refers to as a spear gun. I don't get it either. And then you got the dirk, which is super strong. But each weapon takes an ammo from you. The batarangs take 1 point of ammo from you. The spear gun takes 2, and the dirk takes 3. So, use them sparingly. Ow. Yeah, you get 8 digits of life in this game. Which, there's no changing that. There's no getting around it. You got 8 digits of life. That's it. You could jump down this tube of heat waves. That's what these enemies are called. And you can kill yourself if you want to. I seem to be doing a pretty good job of that myself, actually. So, you know. This kind of enemy only shows up 1 time in the entire game, which is this level. Actually, they show up twice. There's this one. But yeah, these guys are called Enforcers. You'd never see them again. So, goodbye. Farewell. Good night, sweet prince. Also, something you noticed earlier, Batman can wall jump, a la Ryu and Ninja Gaiden. All you have to do is just press A when you're on a wall. And for the most part, it's pretty good wall jumping, but it can get kind of weird. And also, the jumps are pressure sensitive. So, if you press the button lightly, Batman will jump a little bit. I just punched out a dude. He didn't even do anything. He's supposed to do something. Like, probably jump around and slash. You can just kill him like that pretty easily. So, here comes our first boss fight. This is Killer Moth. Killer Moth is, he's dumb. And by dumb, I mean brain dead. He's, yeah. So, shooting the door down to this area, we're now in the Axis Chemical Factory. This is an area in the movie, and these idiots running around, they're called shakedowns. Apparently, the names for these enemies aren't just pulled from a hat. They're named after street-level villains in the Batman comics. But I highly doubt it. But if you're really that scared of getting in an enemy's face, then my preferred strat for taking care of enemies, just huck a batarang at them. More than likely, that's going to be your solution for getting an annoying enemy out of your face, is just hurl a batarang at them. Because, I'll tell you later, but the batarangs are going to be the best of the three weapons. Hurt! Ow. Yeah, don't touch the acid. It hurts. Ow. I shocked myself. Yeah, stages often have environmental hazards that you gotta watch out for. Like that. See, that's a part of an aspect of this game I really like, is that a lot of the platforming in this game is like, the platforming in most cases is really well thought out. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these areas aren't just arbitrarily slapped together just to make stages. Like, there's actually rhymes and reasons to why things are designed the way they are. In most cases. So these things are called drop claws. They drop stuff. It's particularly exploding claw-like devices. And I hate them, and they're terrible. And apparently you can grind off of them, but that process is much easier said than done. So, you can try it if you want to, but more than likely, you're gonna die in the process. Yeah, sometimes you can have control over Batman's mid-air movement, but sometimes it's just like, nah. So here's a section I like to grind in for stuff. You can respawn one mobile home mine, and one, I guess these are also shakedowns, but basically just rinse and repeat this if you want to do the next boss fight with full health. Enemies do drop hearts occasionally. They only refill one peg at a time. And, yeah. There's gonna be moments in this game where, you're gonna need to grind. Alright. You guys ready for the next boss? What character do you think it is this time? We fought Killer Moth, who isn't in the movie, but at least he's a real character. Who's next? Nobody. It's this shit. This is the Machine Intelligence System. It split off into 3, technically 4 components. You have these 2 guns that shoot at you on this level. Just give them a few shots with your spear gun, and at some point they'll blow up. Like that. Then you got this thing, which if you simply stand up here, just dirk it. You can use your spear gun if you want to conserve ammo, but at the same time, the lasers that shoot down, they'll collide with the spear gun shots, and you won't get any of it. And then there's this part, which just go up and punch it. Just go up and punch it. That was a cutscene. So anyway, this is the level where, more than likely, this game's dubious secret is gonna wind up smacking you in the face. Because got these enemies. They're named Jaders. They're my least favorite enemy in the whole game. And why is that? Well, simple. They're basically the Fleamen from Castlevania on fucking steroids. Like, I can never deal with these guys without accidentally injuring myself. And they're super bulky and just, ugh. Awful. Terrible enemies. And they're fucking everywhere in certain levels. Ow. Yeah, turbines will hurt you. Just, yeah, don't even bother trying to kill those things. Just go. Apart from bosses, once you get past a stage, it's just done. So, if you beat 3-1, you don't have to do 3-1 again. And that's our first death. Batman randomly bursts into flames into the shape of a bat. How appropriate. And he dies. Expect to hear that little death jingle many, many, many times. Yeah, the batarangs are the best weapon. You wanna know why? It's because they deal multiple hits of damage at once, and you'd think, huh, wouldn't the strongest item be the dirk because it takes the most ammo? No, it's not, because the batarangs rack up several hits at once, which wind up adding up to more damage than what the dirk does. So, yeah. Unless there's a very specific scenario that calls for the dirk, or the spear gun, you're better off just using the batarangs for enemies. Speaking of which, this is a prime example of a good level to showcase the batarangs. Those are EEV tanks. Screw EEV tanks. They suck. Fortunately, though, I'm pretty sure that's the only one you actually gotta fight. Yeah! You can despawn them by just using very specific movement patterns, at least on this stage. Here's one of these moments where you have to go up a vertical area whilst dealing with an environmental hazard. More fucking turbines. This time jammed into a wall, or a pipe in this case. This EEV, you can despawn, but it's actually better if you don't despawn it. Because you can use it for grinding, like getting a heart. That's actually perfect for the next boss fight. So, yay. The next boss fight, there is a strategy, but I'm just going to show you what's actually most effective for getting the job done. This is the Electrocutioner. Just hurl batarangs at him. Just crouch in the corner with the batarangs and mash the B button. Eventually, he just dies. He just drops dead. Despite what Joker is saying here, we're not going to Gotham Museum. Instead, we're going to some random-ass computer factory. Alright. I guess who's back? Well, apart from mines and just fucking jaders again. Yeah, you can jack with their AI if you get them in the right spots, but more than likely, you just get ripped apart by those guys. I don't know how they expect you to get through that section without hurting yourself. I really don't. But don't fret, because this stretch is perfect for grinding. Yeah. If you don't have any faith of getting through this next section, all you really have to do, because, you know, there's more fucking jaders, is go from the section with this drop claw through these monitors, and then kill these two enemies. And just keep repeating over and over and over again. Of course, you should probably pay attention while you're doing it. See, this is what the Matt Reeves movie needed more of. Just Batman running around the same section back and forth like an asshole. Just punching everything until Valentine's hearts showed up. Because, of course it would, right? Like, duh, that's just the most Batman thing that Batman could ever Batman. If you're running low on health and you get into this spot of Jader Hell, what you can do is just run. Just fucking run. Because the end of the level is right here. So, all that panic was really not for much. It was better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. Don't think this is like a conveyor belt or anything. Those are gears. Gears hurt you. You'll hate gears in this game. You'll never look at a gear the same way again. Alright, now this is where the game starts throwing some, rather ludicrous situations at you. You see this drop claw? It drops over these gears, right? Just one problem. Those are gears that the game wants you to jump over. Now, ideally, you should be able to just jump right over, but, that's not how long Batman's jump arc is. Almost got you baited. Yeah, you just gotta take the hit and live with it. Now you got this section, which I used to really hate in other playthroughs, until I realized if you just keep mashing punch, these buzzsaws actually can't hit you. Like, at all. Like, they actually can't hurt you. So, the only thing in that section that's really a danger is that one drop claw. Everything else is just a nuisance. So, yay me, I suppose, for figuring all that shit out. Ah! Oh my god. Yeah, this is where the platforming starts getting absolutely mental. Look at how many small-ass platforms there are. Now this section, actually the dirk comes in handy, because the Batarang can't reach that far, and the spear gun, the shot will just explode if it hits this wall. The dirk, however, accomplishes both of these tasks. So, yeah, just shoot the dirk, and you'll be fine. That is, unless you plunge yourself back to the lower levels, which is way too freaking easy due to the jump delay and just the overall placement of everything. Because, of course, these have to be conveyor belts. Because, I mean, why not, right? Why not make them conveyor belts? I wish these are slightly lower, just ever so slightly, so I could shortcut it. But you can't. Now for this area, you actually get two ways. You see, you can go over to the right and kill that heat wave if you really want to. But if you're like, well, I don't want to fight that, just wall jump off that. You don't have to deal with him. And I think, honestly, I'd rather have him there to fuck with this EEV tank. Because of course there's an EEV tank here. Why wouldn't there be? It's like the cherry on top of the pain sundae. The Batarangs take them out pretty easily. But at the same time, they can take you out pretty easily too. Oh, hey, I despawned a drop claw. Good for me. Pardon me while I grind here for 3 hours. Actually, it won't take that long. Depending on how long it takes to spawn 6 hearts. Huh? Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, you may wind up feeling like, you might feel like a Joestar by the time you're done with this shit. Finally, I have enough health! Took fucking long enough. What other crazy, kooky comic book characters could we fight in this area? Well, we fought dude that throws fireballs and just runs into Batarangs all day. And then we had a couple of turrets and some nipples on a wall. And then a dude that tried to electrocute me, but just ended up eating a million Batarangs. Let's see what the game has in store for us now. Boxes. The game... The game has boxes. Yes, you're looking at a game where Batman is getting his ass handed to him by boxes. There you go. I was really hoping not to get a game over there, but I didn't get a game over there. So, if you get a game over on a boss stage, you get kicked back to the previous stage. And speaking of game overs, I'm just gonna forcibly get one right now, because this stage, you need lives for this stage. It's time to die. Ow. Gears. Fuck gears. They're the worst. They're the absolute worst. Batman is just really stupid looking in this game. That was a creative decision. You see, there are ROM hacks for this game that actually do change Batman's sprite colors. There's one that makes him, like, gray and blue, kind of similar to the comic books. And then there's one that just straight up makes him black, like he is in the movie. And personally, I don't see anything wrong with changing his colors, but, yeah. They decided to make him purple so that he would stand out on the screen. Well then, Last Ninja. I've seen that game. I've seen it. And that's all I need to know. So, you know why I'm not trying to jump across this? This is one of those jumps that are just... Nope. I like Purple Batman. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm pretty sure they've made action figures of this design before, right? Like NECA or whatever. So yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, basically the idea here is you're supposed to jump off this block and then hug it and then wall jump off of it to get through this gear. The problem is it lurches down so low that trying to do this jump the way it's intended is just not possible. Like, of course I'm gonna try it, but you have to hit just the absolute bottom corner to try to make the jump, and basically either bang your head on this gear, or you mistime the jump and just get hit by the bottom of gear. Thus, most people just jump down, take the hit from the gear, and then they just move on with their day, because they ain't got no time for that. So yeah, anyway, fuck these stupid goddamn trident cannons in their dumb ass. They take more hits than everything. So you just get killed by it. You just get hit by them one time, and then it's over. Bizarro Batman is a pacifist in the comics. Pacifist. Shit! I should have crouched. Well, I'm about to get game over, so I may as well just skew the results in Bruce's favor a little bit. You know, he's not feeling it right now. That's what most of the stream is about to be, is just this one stupid level! Shot through the heart, and I jumped too late. You gave love a bad name. Oh my god, it always shoots 2 when you first encounter it. Oh my god! Just kill me. Just fucking kill me. These stupid fucking trident cannons are the worst. They're the absolute worst. Because they take more than a couple punches to kill, and there's no weapon that can easily deal with them. So just, ugh. I only died, what, like once? Maybe twice? Before this level? No! This level's just the perfect storm of everything wrong with NES games. You know, I'm just enjoying every bit of your raging. That's pretty much been my career for the last coming on 6 years. Is just my complete descent into madness. It's time for the final boss fight. Let's go. This is Firebug. I really don't like Firebug. No, what the fuck? Dumb asshole. Why does he... I think if you hit him in the air, it fucks up the loop. It does! It actually does. So, Firebug's not the final boss. It's the Joker. Now, initially, the Joker was actually not supposed to be the final boss. It was just supposed to be Firebug. But people were like, why the fuck can't I fight the Joker in a movie, in a game about Batman? So you were like, good question. I beat the Joker! Oh! That's the first time I've ever beaten this game legit! Let's go! First try Joker! What's going on? That's not how the movie ends, but fuck it, I don't care. Wow. I expected to take much longer on that fight. I expected to be here for hours fighting this thing, but nope. That just goes to show you, practice makes perfect. That's the first legit clear of this game I've ever done. Wow! And there it is. We got it. We did it. Much like a lot of other Nintendo games, once you get to this screen, nothing you do, no button you press does anything. This is the moment where most kids in the 90s would leave on their Nintendo all day, all night, days, weeks, what have you, to try to invite their friends over to turn on their TV and be like, hey look, I beat Batman! Or whatever game. Now that I've played the game, let's analyze the positives and negatives. I'll be using 3 criteria to judge games, those being gameplay, presentation, and accessibility. First, the gameplay, where I have an immediate con. It is way too hard, at least for the average player. With enough trial and error, you can get through it, but you'll be more likely to conquer a fear of bats first. On the plus side, the game feels very smooth and responsive, save for the slight delay before jumps, but you can get used to that. A huge positive is the presentation of the game. The graphics are far better than what a lot of licensed games crapped out at the time. Also, I don't mind Purple Batman, although some ROM hacks change his colors to something more akin to Batman's actual designs. On top of generally solid graphics, the soundtrack is incredible. Every single song slaps. Definitely look it up on YouTube when we're finished here. Although if I had to nitpick the graphics, it's that some of the environmental hazards blend into the background. Also some weird spots of color show up, but I can look past that. Getting hit by a chameleon like Buzzsaw or Turbine irritates me. Finally, can you grab a copy of it easily? Unfortunately, there has never been an official re-release of this game. That being said, copies of it do go for relatively cheap if you just want the cartridge. Personally, I'd like to see this game get included in a collection with some of the other old-school Batman games. Kind of like TMNT Cowabunga Collection or the Aladdin and Lion King bundle. Plus, if you got a little Joker Venom in your system, emulating it wouldn't take too much trouble considering it's an NES game. Just don't try to use touch controls if you're a mobile emulator person. Given my analysis, let me ask the all-important, spotlighted, and burning question. Do I advocate for Batman on the NES? My answer is... maybe? Weirdly enough, I can't come to a definite conclusion for this game. For NES standards, it plays much better than so many other trashy licensed games. However, I think its difficulty is just a smidge too high for the average player to want to pick it up. If you do like Batman, I think you owe it to yourself to at least try it out. As far as trying to beat it, well, I'm not going to be held responsible for any holes in your wall. In the end, gameplay is king, and if there's a big enough problem with it, any game could die regardless of its other merits. Basically, don't hesitate to tap out when it starts slaughtering you. With that said, I have been Reaper Vegas, and I'll see you all next time.